I mean, let's be honest. If there's one thing that is mainly talked about more than anything else right now, is NXT and AEW, right? The so-called Wednesday Night Wars, which I think is really stupid calling because I'm going to explain right now the reason why AEW beats NXT. And literally, it has nothing to do about the storytelling or the matches, because literally all in all, AEW and NXT both have great matches every week. They both have great storytelling every week. And they both keep the intensity, and you barely ever get bored of watching either one every week. I'm going to tell you the true reason why NXT fails every week. Because of knowledge. And I'm not talking about knowledge of not understanding the business. I'm talking about the fans' knowledge. NXT has always been the best show for like the last 6-7 years of WWE. For like the last decade, NXT has dominated most of those years as the absolute best show that WWE offers every damn week. The thing is, instead of Vince McMahon acknowledging that NXT was just worth being on television and just putting it on television on its own day and letting fans just watch it on that precise day, instead, Vince decided he's going to put NXT on TV now because AEW was getting put on TV. And the thing is, Vince McMahon is missing the whole point of what AEW was for. AEW was not like WCW. See, WCW was trying to literally go toe-to-toe with WWE in ratings and trying to beat them in war. AEW wasn't doing that. AEW was created because there was a massive amount of wrestlers that never made it to WWE that were living endless lives of shitty pay. If they weren't in Impact Wrestling or if they weren't in Ring of Honor, most of the time, or New Japan Pro Wrestling, most of the time they were wrestling for cheap ass money. $10, $15, $20 a night for wrestling. They're not getting proper pay. Living in their cars, living in shitty ass apartments. So AEW comes out, they get major deal, they get a major sponsor. Tony Khan helps make it come to life from the ideas of Cody Rosenbaum. So now AEW comes out and now it gives payments to superstars, athletes, wrestlers, gives them contracts that are just as equivalent as a WWE contract. And literally, at the end of the day, let's just be honest. The world always goes by longevity. We have more than just the NFL for football. But at the same time, NFL will always be the godfather of that sport. And if you really want to make it big 100%, you're always going to want to go to the NFL and play in the NFL in some way or form and prove yourself. Same way for NBA. They got different leagues for NBA. But at the same time, NBA is the main one. I meant to say basketball, but you guys know what I meant. But NBA is the main godfather of basketball. Somewhere, some form, if you're a great basketball player, you want to go play for the NBA and prove yourself and win NBA championships. Because it's the godfather. Tennis, FIFA for soccer. They got different leagues outside of the FIFA, But at the end of the day, there's always that one company that's going to be higher up because of the longevity and the acknowledgement. And no one's taking that from WWE. At the end of the day, WrestleMania is always going to be one of the biggest events of the year. At the end of the day, WWE might be here for a long time. Of course. At the end of the damn day, they got all the sponsors in the world. They got the most acknowledgement of wrestling in America and practically around the world. In any way whatsoever, no matter where wrestlers are from, everybody knows about WWE. Of course, it's going to be the godfather of wrestling, no matter what. But it doesn't mean that it has to be the only successful company. And see, Vince McMahon, it's like, come on. AEW wasn't even coming on a show. It wasn't even coming on the day that you were on. You know what I'm saying? On TV. They're coming on Wednesdays. You could have put NXT on TV on Thursdays or on Tuesdays. And at the same time, it wouldn't have hurt Impact because Impact Wrestling comes on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They're off by 7. And then NXT wouldn't come on to 8. So literally at the same time, Impact Wrestling still would have had their time. They wouldn't have even lost their fans. It would have worked out. But instead, fans know that you were purposely bringing NXT out from WWE Network onto the main networks of USA just so you could go toe-to-toe and try to take ratings away from AEW. So literally NXT, which is your best show, gets harmed every week with low ratings because fans know why you're bringing it out from WWE Network onto the main TV is because you just want NXT to take ratings away from a company that's trying to give more wrestlers opportunities. And you don't like that. So you brought it out. This is not the old days where wrestling was so synonymous to the point where people thought it larger than life to where they literally believed, oh, Undertaker really was undead and Mick Foley really was an indestructible person and that, people like Stone Cold and all were bulletproof and shit like that. This is not those days anymore. The world of wrestling is understood a whole lot more in depth than what it used to back in the 80s and the 90s and even before then. So now fans know, this is opportunity. And they realize that wrestlers have a hard time getting proper jobs to feed their families, doing a job that they love to do. So AEW comes out and gives them a much better pay than what even Impact Wrestling can do and Ring of Honor can do. They're actually giving these guys strong $1 million contracts, $500,000 contracts, just like WWE does. And instead of being a true, there's always going to be competition, but that doesn't mean it can't be fun. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to have your wrestling fans. There's always going to be the diehard WWE fans because they know the wrestlers in WWE more than they know the ones in AEW. And then there's going to be the diehard AEW fans that are going to be like, yo, this came out in my generation. The generation of this started with me. You know what I'm saying? I was here when AEW first formed. I've watched it from its first pay-per-view all the way to its first episodic show debut, all the way to now. So, yeah, there's going to be diehard AEW fans. But the main reason why you're hemorrhaging ain't because AEW came out. You're hemorrhaging because your shit sucks. Outside of NXT, your shit sucks. And literally the sad thing is, NXT suffering because instead of you just bringing them out, giving them proper recognition for doing a great damn job and just letting people know who these people are, you instead put them on the same damn night with AEW, and now fans know you're only doing this because you're trying to harm AEW and trying to take them out of business. And nobody, not even me, wants to see that happen. I want to see more companies get big in WWE. If they end up even getting a third, 3/4 of a way as big as WWE, that's cool. Because at the end of the day, WWE's always going to have the reputation as the godfather of the business. Your guys are always going to get a good deal. You're always going to get good contracts. Of course, your longevity in the world is just too powerful. But it doesn't mean that other companies can't get up there with you. Even in movie business, you got Disney, you got damn Sony, you did have 21st Century Fox until they got bought by Disney, and you got other ones like Universal. You got pinnacle companies that are all linked, and some have been out longer than others, but they all got their own longevity, and they're all serious competitors. It can be the same way for the wrestling business. Impact Wrestling has been hemorrhaging for years. Ever since Hogan and them all messed up Impact Wrestling, it's never got back on his feet proper. But AEW has the potential to be another significant American organization of wrestling that can put more superstars on the map and be considered serious competitors. And instead of you coping with the new world and just embracing it, you're trying to harm it. And nobody these days wants to see people's opportunities harmed when they should be praised. And because you can't have your way like you used to, you're literally condemning your best product right now to suffer because you don't want to let AEW get big. So you're trying to drop, and it's worse. And all you're doing is making it better because no one likes to be told what the hell they can and cannot watch and what they should and should not do. You tell fans, oh, I'm putting this up here because I'm going to break those guys' ratings. Fans are going to take it as, oh, you're trying to force me to like the show. So they're going to look at you like, I'm not going to watch your show. And it's hurting NXT because NXT is a great fucking show. I like NXT, honestly, more than AEW at times. I love AEW too. I find it great. I love MJF and Phoenix and, Pentagon Jr. I ain't saying the other man one because those other idiots want to fuck up his name. Other one, I like Pac and I like John Moxley and I like Kenny Omega. I like all those guys. Yeah, I'm going to watch them. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I want to see NXT on the same damn day as AEW. And now they ain't gonna really do it like that because it's gonna seem as like they're yielding and saying that we lost. You guys are the better team. No, you're not. You're just doing something smart. Put NXT on a different damn day. Put it on a Thursday night NXT. So what? On Thursday nights we get NXT. Earlier in the day we get NXT UK. Later on the day and night on USA. We get freaking NXT. AEW goes on there Wednesday. Tuesday, we get Impact Wrestling. Monday and Friday, we get Raw, we get SmackDown. When AEW does come on another show, oh well, then that's a different situation. But until then, there was no need to have two shows on the same night. You just chose to do that because you're trying to ruin a company. And that's the worst thing to do these days. That's the worst thing to do, period. You're just trying to ruin a company because you're trying to stay as this pinnacle dog. You're never going to lose your pinnacle. Only reason why you're suffering right now is because you're not doing shit right in your consistency in your storytelling, and you're giving people crap. Which means you shouldn't be sitting your ass to the side and letting even your father gave up his seat after a while and let you take over. It's called giving in to the way the world is. Knowing that your ass is no longer in tune with what's good and what's not when it comes to the company, give somebody that with a younger, fresher mind the chance to do what they know is the right thing to do at the time and call quits. Like, how the hell are you going to have a show called NXT and you don't even fucking watch it? Don't give me that bullshit you got a busy schedule. Fuck that shit. Your whole business, your schedule right now is WWE. And it was not going to hurt your ass to stop and watch NXT for 2 hours every damn Wednesday and see the people that are your future. And as you know, okay, when they come up, I can just use that. You're always trying to change shit on the character that's already pinnacle. It's like, that's the main reason why. Oh, I did pretty good. Anyway, that's the main reason why you're suffering right now. Because we know why the hell you put NXT up there. And that's why Triple H is pissed off about the situation. Because instead of you just putting NXT up there as respect for what they have done and where they started from and where they are now, and just giving them a day to be seen by everybody, instead of just those who got WWE Network, you put them up there to try to be freaking warriors to destroy another company, and that's not going to happen. That's why you're failing. Because literally, all in all, anybody that watches NXT is going to say, yeah, that was a great show. Just like how they're going to look at AEW and say, yeah, that's a great show. Every now and then, both AEW and NXT, sometimes some storylines and the thing ain't really all that good, but that's life. But at the same damn time, I'll still take NXT and AEW shitty-ass episodic shows of little segments in there that are not worth talking about today. I will still take those ones over the shit I see on Raw and SmackDown. Most of the time, outside of Roman Reigns for SmackDown, Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan, they're some of the absolute best ones right now on SmackDown. I will watch those ones, and on Raw is Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Alexa Bliss, Bray Wyatt. Those are some of the absolute best ones, and now Edge. Those are some of the absolute best ones on Raw. When I watch those people, I'm into it. But all the rest of them, most of the time, who cares? Because most of the time it's shit. But at the same time, it's like, stop trying to make AEW a lesser big brand. Because at the end of the day, you're not benefiting any situation for your damn company. Because at the end of the day, AEW is going to be strong. AEW will eventually have their ups and downs too. Don't let it go. Because after a while, after about 3 years on the thing, people are going to start doing the same complaint they do with WWE, not for the storylines, but for the pushes. Because eventually, by the time they get to 3 years and 4 years, there's going to be a group of superstars that are going to get used more than the other ones. It always happens because that's how it is. A lot of fans don't get that, but at the same time, you're always going to have your top 10. And then after your top 10, you're going to have the top 5 of that top 10. They get used more because they're the ones that just gravitate to the people more and put asses in seats. But Vince, your ass is messing up your ratings for NXT because you're sitting there trying to make them do a war with AEW instead of putting them on the opposite day and just letting NXT get their viewership. Don't you realize that every single time NXT is not on the same day as AEW, NXT gets high ratings? And then as soon as the following week comes up and they go back with AEW, they go back down to getting shit for ratings, really. That's because, it's not because the fans don't like NXT. It's so that they just know that you are only putting them on the same TV on the same time because you want them to beat AEW. And that's just the wrong thing to do. So, that's the main reason. Not because of the product, not because of the matches, not because of the storytelling. But because of NXT getting low ratings to AEW, it's because WWE is putting NXT on the same night as AEW in a war that nobody gives a shit about seeing. Nobody cares about that. We just want to see good wrestling. Put NXT on Thursday or put them on Tuesday. Simple as that. And Tuesday, like I said, Tuesday will work because Impact Wrestling comes on at 5 to 7. And that's East Coast time. They come on from 5 to 7. So literally, even if NXT came on, they don't come on to 8 o'clock. So they literally still ain't even hurting Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling's fans will still be watching them easily without having to wonder, I wonder what's going on in NXT. Because NXT comes on an hour after it goes off. So literally, it's not even hurting that on Tuesdays. But instead, you want to put them both on Wednesday. And until you change the day, NXT is going to consistently lose to AEW because the fans know the reason why Vince is putting NXT on the same night. And that's not fair to NXT. It's not fair to Triple H and William Regal and Shawn Michaels, who are busting their asses to make these shows great every damn week. It's not fair to the NXT stars who are doing the absolute best work for WWE right now. And it's just not right. They're getting shitted on for no reason, when that should be more focused on Raw and SmackDown, not NXT. NXT right now should be the flagship show for WWE because they are the ones that are doing the absolute best. And it's sad to see how it's going. So literally, all in all, that's everything I got to say about it. I'm not going to try to over-exaggerate anymore. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? I really believe that's the reason why. Do you? Because literally, when I watch NXT and AEW every week, I'm happy with what I see. I love watching them both. I have no complaints really at all. Even when you get a little shitty segment, it's rare. It's never really that bad. Even their shitty shit sometimes be absolutely worth watching. I don't even care for the Miro storyline, but I was still watching at the time because they still got some funny stuff in it. I just don't really care about how they doing Miro right now for the direction. But I'm not saying that he ain't funny. Miro was a funny person any day away. He's a funny ass guy. But at the same time, that's what I think. That's what I feel. That's what I believe I know. I know it. That's the main reason. So do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. At the same time, subscribe, thumbs up, share this around. Let's get this one spread out too. Hit the bell for future videos. And as always, wrestlers forever. Stay safe. One love.